Hello everyone, and welcome to Diversity Literature 101. It is our first day of class and I am very excited to be back with a new group of students. This year we are going to be reading a ton load of books, so I hope that you're prepared and ready for this class because it's not going to be easy, but it definitely will be fun. So in today's class, I am going to go over the curriculum and the assignment of all the books that we're going to be reading throughout the year. So first things first, we're going to be reading Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. This is one of my favorite diverse reads, and your assignment for this book is to read it and pick a diverse aspect that you would like to report about. It could be about the sexuality, the ethnicity of some of the characters. It could deal with mental illness or mental health. It could deal with positive body representation. It could also deal with the fandom and geek culture within this book or the YouTube culture within this book. The options are limitless, and the best report will get 10 extra credit points. So read this book carefully and pick the best area of representation that you would like to explore in your report. Next, you will be reading Tash Tolstoy by Katherine Ormsbee. This book deals with asexuality as well as the YouTube culture. So we are going to have the entire class film a book review on this, and then I will watch all of them, and the best review, the one that is the most creative or the most unique, will get extra credit points. From there, you will be reading When Dimple Met Rishi by Sonia Menon. This book follows the Indian culture as well as computer programming and app design, and so I want you to read this book, and we will have a discussion in class about the Indian culture and what we found most interesting in terms of the representation of that in this novel. Then we are going to be reading a Black Lives Matter book, which is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I haven't gotten a chance to read this yet, so I'll be reading it with all of you, but I know that it is going to be phenomenal. And then in class, we're going to read this book and then have a discussion on Black Lives Matter, and it will be a roundtable discussion, so make sure you have prompts and things prepared that you would like to discuss when reading this novel. From there, you'll be picking up both of Becky Albertalli's novels, Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda and The Upside of Unrequited. I have Simon here with me, but you will be required to buy The Upside of Unrequited because of course we want to support the lovely authors that we are reading from this year. So from there, we will be having a discussion about the different diverse topics within Becky's books, as a lot of the things that she is writing about she isn't personally experienced to. So we'll be having a discussion about that and how that contributes to the diverse community. Make sure that you have prompts and things ready that you want to discuss. Then you will be reading every single Adam Silvera novel, which includes More Happy Than Not, History Is All You Left Me, and They Both Die in the End when it comes out in September. I want to make sure you pre-order that so you're able to get it on your door the minute that it comes out. All of Adam's novels are absolutely fantastic, and they have a huge focus on the LGBTQ+ community, so we're going to be talking about that, and I would like you to do some research on the community and then read these novels. Then from there, you'll be reading A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, as we are dealing with some really important issues with abuse, and we also deal with characters that have different mental illnesses. So there's a lot explored within this book. It's a very heartfelt read, and I hope it's one that you will enjoy. And we're going to then have a discussion on parental abuse and how that plays into the story and the way that it made you feel, and discussing about how that plays into diversity. Then you'll be reading The Great American Whatever by Tim Federle. This book is absolutely fantastic. We have a theater aspect within this novel, so any of the kids who are in theater are going to get up and personally discuss the theater representation within this book. And then we also have some LGBTQIA representation as well. So this is going to be a very fun read. Then you will be reading The Takedown by Corey Wang. This book follows an Asian main character and also deals with hacking and internet culture, and I'm very excited to get to read this. I have not read it yet. It's another book that I will be reading with you, and I'm very interested to see how the Asian culture plays into this, and we'll be having a discussion about the diverse themes in this novel. Now that ends it for just the contemporary books that we're going to be reading this year. So then as for some fantasy that we're going to be getting into, we'll be reading Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulters. This is a standalone fantasy novel that follows two characters that are lesbians, and so that's a little bit of a different diverse read, and so we're going to be having a discussion about that and whether you would like to see more of these types of diverse books in literature. Then you're going to be reading The Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. I have Six of Crows here with me, but you will be required to buy Crooked Kingdom, and I also would suggest that you read the Grisha trilogy before this because I think it'll help you have a better understanding, although it is not required. And we're going to be talking about the diversity in this book, although it's sometimes not acknowledged. And then finally, we'll be reading every single Cassandra Clare book that has come out so far, which is like over 10 books, but you'll be able to get through them relatively easily because they're absolutely fantastic. And of course, if I'm going to be having a diversity literature class, I'm going to have you read my favorite authors' books and how they deal with LGBTQIA, as well as some other known aspects once you start to get more into the novel, which I'm not going to spoil for you. Make sure that you have all of these read and that you read them in the proper order. So that's the bell. I hope you all have a wonderful time reading, and I hope you had a fantastic first day of class. Oh my god, there is no way in hell that I'm going to be able to read all of these books by the end of the year. If my teacher thinks that I'm going to be able to read all of these with accuracy and efficiency, she is out of her damn mind. Well, there's the bell. I guess I'm going to have to carry all of these. Sometimes I wonder if I sign too many books each year. You think? Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed my day 5 BOOKTUBEATHON challenge. That was so much fun to film, and I'm kind of glad that I did something a little bit different, because I know that for the past week I feel like I've sort of been taking the easy way out with some of my BOOKTUBEATHON challenges, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. So for today's challenge, we were supposed to create a reading list for a type of class that we would like to see featuring literature. So I decided to create a diversity literature class, and of course my reading list was extremely long because I sort of wanted to illustrate the point that there are plenty of diverse books out there to read, although we may not realize it, since a lot of books may be more advertised based on their fantasy aspects or other aspects within the novel. We may not be realizing that we're reading a diverse novel and that there's plenty of them out there to read, because sometimes we get so lost in all of the stereotypical YA novels that we never really branch out of our comfort zone and read some diverse novels. So I was excited to get to film a video challenge about that, especially because I started a diversity book club and we're going to be discussing Tash Tolstoy, which is one of the books that's featured in this video, on Sunday. So that's the final day of BOOKTUBEATHON, and I'm really excited about that, as well as being able to get to do a video challenge and talk about some of my favorite diverse reads, because I really haven't done that on my channel yet. So this was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that I got to do something a little bit different with this challenge. As for my reading progress, I'm a few chapters in to the second book of The Darkest Minds, and I'm enjoying it so far, but I wish I could have gotten a little bit farther and could be a little bit more ahead, but I've been so busy and I just haven't been motivated to read, and I've sort of been slumping because I feel like I have to get all this reading done. But I will roll the one clip that I have from yesterday. Hello everyone, it is currently 4:30 in the morning, day 5 of BOOKTUBEATHON on Friday, and I just finished City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I literally passed out on my couch. I was exhausted. I reorganized all my bookshelves, and I really didn't get a lot of reading done, and then I came into my room and I saw City of Bones and I couldn't fall back asleep, so I decided to stay up for another 3 hours reading it, which is ridiculous, but I'm glad that I got to finish. I loved getting to reread everything and get to see all these scenes that have been cut out of both of the adaptations, and getting to relive all the jokes and all the humor that I love from Cassie's books. And I'm so glad that I'm finally starting my reread, and I'm so excited to get to pick up the rest of the Moore Lynchman series and the rest of the Infernals of Vices and just have a lot of fun with it, because I really don't do a lot of rereads often, just because of how many other books that I want to read that are newer that I haven't picked up yet or are new releases. So I'm really glad that I'm setting aside time to do this and that I was able to do it because of BOOKTUBEATHON. And because of that, I've now completed all of the challenges except for reading 7 books. So I'm really happy with my BOOKTUBEATHON progress so far, and I'm excited to start the final 2 books in the Darkest Minds trilogy to end BOOKTUBEATHON. But I think now that it's as early as it is, I should try to go to bed and get some sleep, and then get up in the morning and try to do the video challenge. So I figured that I would update you guys, because I haven't updated you at all, just because I've been incredibly busy out and about, and I'm just exhausted, and I'm probably rambling incoherently. So I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'll see you all in the morning for day 5 of BOOKTUBEATHON. So that about wraps everything up for day 5 of BOOKTUBEATHON. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with day 6. Goodbye!